season, 2 straight, fairly dominant wins at home.
Well, I'm really happy, especially for our senior class, that we're going to get to play in another game. Really happy. I'm happy for the program because it's going to be our 5th straight bowl game, which is sometimes people will say that's no big deal, but I've been coaching a long time, and guess what? It is a big deal. It doesn't matter where we go, even though we would love to stay home. Maybe they wouldn't, but I'd love to stay home. Because I think it's a classy bowl, and I think they do everything for the team and the players that's really first class, because we've been there a couple years ago. And, I mean, it's as nice a bowl game as I've ever been to. So we'd love to stay home if they would have us. But we'd love to play in Boise next weekend, too.
The other thing today was you secured a winning record no matter what 5th straight season of doing that. It's not like you're just going 6-6. How big is that for this program, considering where it was a decade ago?
Well, I think it's a big deal whenever you have a winning record, yes. I think that's a big deal. I think that our #1 goal in this program is to win a conference championship, and our chances of getting to compete for that aren't very good. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not very good. But if it happens, it'll be really fun to do it. And so we're a little disappointed that we didn't win some close games that would have given us a chance to win the conference championship, but we're awful happy that we've qualified for a 5th straight bowl game and, as you say, a 5th year of a winning record.
Coach, are you maybe a little disappointed that you guys didn't get the shutout in the end?
You know, Steph, I heard you ask that question, and you ought to be a coach. You should. You should be a coach. Because I think I told Jim after the game, how can you be unhappy when you won 38-7? So, yeah, I was disappointed we didn't get the shutout. But that's a really bad personality trait. And for you to ask it, I think maybe you should have been a coach. Because that's a bad personality trait of a coach when you win 38-7 and something's wrong. That's ridiculous. And as soon as I get out to the parking lot, my wife will tell me that, how stupid I was.
Coach, you had 44 carries between Price and Pumphrey today, and only 16 pass attempts. Was that the game plan, or more just taking what they were giving you?
Well, I think that we were running the ball so well, it was easy to keep handing it to them. And we didn't throw it very well. I mean, we had some open receivers that we didn't throw the ball very well, so it was good that we were able to run the ball that well.
When DJ is having the kind of game he's having, Rocky, is there any thought to not doing the rotation and just letting that guy go? And I ask that because to get him a little bit more, maybe on the national spotlight, to get him a 300-yard game that maybe gets a little bit more play.
Well, I heard the way he answered the questions up here, and I'm totally with him. This is a team game. We don't worry about individual awards. If they come, they come. And one of the reasons he's running so well in the 12th game of the season is he's been alternating all year long. If you let him carry the ball too much, by this time of the year, he'll be so beat up he won't be able to carry it at all. And I'm sure as a program we'd love to have some national recognition, but we're never going to worry about that over the team as a whole and what's best for the team.
Do you think, Rocky, that he is, because of all the late-night games, box scores don't get in newspapers, the whole thing, the thing that kind of works in general against you guys sometimes, do you think it's worked against him a little bit too this season or not?
No, I don't think so, because I think what's worked against him is the guys that are gaining 400 yards in a game. I mean, one week a guy breaks the record and runs 416 yards in a game, and the very next weekend a guy runs for 460 in a game. I would say that has a little more to do with it than playing late night. And if you're rushing for, how much did he rush for? 260-something yards today? That's a darn good day. I mean, that's a great day. It's a really good day. But some guy might have rushed for 400 today. I don't know.
He was on pace to gain 600.
Yeah, we're back to he might not have made it to the game if we kept handing it to him that much.
Rocky, back when you guys were 5-5 with a lot of kind of gut-wrenching losses
And sometimes you get tired of me saying this, but we have unbelievable kids in our program. I've coached all over the place. And our players are such that if you just tell them the truth, they react the proper way. If you try to blow smoke, they know you're full of it, and they don't act the right way. So we just tell them the truth. At 5-5, we had to win a couple more games to make sure we were in a bowl game, and we had to keep winning in order to have a chance to maybe play in the championship game. We never overstate anything. We never get too excited when things go right, and we never get too down when things go wrong. And I think our team represents that same. We never get too up. We never get too down. We just keep playing and hope for the best.
Coach, the offensive line seems to be a real consistent group this season, especially in terms of running the ball. Can you talk about the job they've done all season long?
Well, I think what's most amazing about it is that they're, since about the first 2 weeks of the season, everybody's stacking their defense to stop the run. And in order to still be able to run that well, you have to have good running backs, which we do. But good running backs don't show up unless somebody's blocking. And I think I said this right at the start of the year. I was disappointed in the offensive line because guess what? We're big, we're strong, we're athletic. They ought to be blocking like that. Now, there's some big, strong, athletic offensive lines that don't block that well. But when you have that kind of size and talent in the offensive line, if they don't block that well, that's a coaching issue. That's not a player issue. That's a coaching issue. Now, if we weren't big and strong and athletic up there, I would say I don't know how they're doing it, but they're plenty capable of doing what they're doing right now.
Coach, was there a difference in the mindset you guys took into this game compared to last year against UNLV, where it's a similar situation, you needed to win to
I think that's a great question. I think we had a totally different mindset. Last year we went into the UNLV game with 7 wins, and those kids thought we were already out of the conference race because Fresno was undefeated. We didn't have a chance to win the conference championship last year, and they already thought that they were guaranteed a bowl game. So I think we went into that game a completely different attitude than we went in today because they knew we had to win 7 to go to a bowl game today. I think last year they thought it was already done. Mm-hmm.
Was that because San Jose State, they have a younger line, you don't know about the quarterback, you might do some more? Was that why?
No, I think it's hard on offensive linemen for pass protection purposes when everybody's standing up. Especially as many guys as we alternate in there, they don't necessarily know who the linebackers are and who the defensive linemen are, and they're all about the same size anyway. And it's not like pro football when they have a small roster where those offensive linemen could point out where the D linemen are and point out where the linebackers are because they know all their names and numbers. In college football, if they're standing next to each other and they're similar size, they don't know which one's the defensive lineman and which one's the linebacker. So sometimes you can get a one-on-one situation and still drop linebackers out of there for coverage.
And like last week, you're saying that as long as you line up the players in the right spot, they're going to go out there. But what's the deal with the radar look? Because is there some kind of form to it? Because it seems like it's kind of random.
No, it's not random. It's supposed to look random, though. I'm glad you saw it that way. And hopefully it looks random to the offense. That's the idea, is to the offensive linemen and the guys that are protecting the quarterback, hopefully it looks random to them. So they don't know exactly how to slide their protections or man their protections. And you get some guys on the edge of blockers that gives them a little better chance to put pressure on the quarterback. That's the whole idea in it. I'm glad you thought it looked random. No, those guys have particular places to stand, and they have particular assignments.
Well, you don't put a lot of stock in individual records. What would it mean for DJ to get the SDSU all-time single-season rushing record, given the names that are in this program at the position?
I think it would be great for him individually to be listed in that kind of category with the great running backs that have gone through this school. I think that would be great for him personally. I think it would be good for the program as a whole that we were able to recruit players that somebody could break that record. And as we said earlier, it's not just him. I mean, he's an outstanding running back, but he wouldn't have those kind of yards if the big guys up front were blocking well. So it's a testament to everybody involved. It's a testament to the program that we recruited well. It's a testament to the players that are in the program that he could break that record. And then obviously it's a good deal for him. But then hopefully we can recruit someone that could break it.
What's the mindset moving forward regardless of what happens tonight?
Well, the mindset will be completely different. If Hawaii can somehow beat Fresno, the mindset will be completely different starting Tuesday than if it's the other way around. Because if it's the other way around, we only get so many practices before a bowl game, and you have to organize it. And sometimes this is a bad thing for me as a coach, but I consider a bowl game a reward for having a good season. So our practices aren't the same type practices as when we get ready to play a regular season game. And obviously, if we're playing in the championship game, those will be very intense, hard practices, where a lot of the bowl practices are not.
How much of an advantage do you think you get, though, from going to a bowl game and getting those extra practices after the 5th straight year?
Oh, I think that's the best part of going to a bowl game. The players that are the older players that have played a lot, they get a little bit of a reward, and they don't practice quite as long. And the players that have been scout teams and all that, they get to practice really hard and develop their skills. It's the best thing for the program to be in a bowl game. It's obviously the best thing for a football program to get into a bowl game.
You mentioned older players and it being senior day or senior night or whatever. That last round with Lucky running it in, I mean, he's a guy who probably didn't pan out as he probably built for him, but what was it like seeing him get that? It looked like the coaches were excited.
Well, I think that's another sign of what our team's like and the players in our program. He transferred here, obviously, because he wanted to play more. He wanted to carry the ball more. And what happened is when he got here, he found out that there was three other really good running backs here. So his chances of carrying the football weren't very good. And then a young man can handle that two different ways. He can pout, he can cry, he could leave, he can be frustrated. Not Lucky. What he did was said, how can I help? And he practiced hard every day in practice, and he's on every single special team. And that's why the team was so excited when he got in the game and scored a touchdown, because he's a good guy. He's a team guy. I mean, 90% of our football team is good guys and team guys. Most football teams are not like that. I hate to say that, but they're not like that.